But anyway, yeah, I've prepared some slides. You do understand that thingsboard cannot just walk aside of modern technology, specifically AI. And we see and feel that AI can equip our users with things and skills that may lack or that can help them develop faster, develop more advanced applications, and work with thingsboard more efficient, because the platform and all our supplement products, they are quite complicated and the learning curve is very steep. So that's why almost all our upcoming releases, they will be dedicated to AI implementation. So my today's presentation is basically designed to tell you what our goals and what the next steps and upcoming features, AI-enabled features, will be available in thingsboard, and what's the current approach in development and design of our future image of the thingsboard as a platform itself. So as you can see, it's like co-piloting. Okay. The motto would be, if a regular housewife just managed to write a novel, I am sure that you know the story of Harry Potter, and this novel now worth billions. So we thought that the same can be done with IoT, and that's why all the most complicated features inside thingsboard are now AI powered, and some of them you can already feel because we've deployed them on our clouds, and eventually, even in this month, in 1 week, the biggest one, the most probably wanted and demanded AI feature will be released on our clouds. I will tell you a bit more about it. So what we have, previously we had solution templates. Definitely we continue this thread, and we will be adding more and more solution templates. Apart from it, we are working on we call it an IoT hub. It's like a marketplace for solutions, and more likely it will be available by the end of this year, where our partners, our customers, licensees, and community users will be able to present and publish their applications, their templates, custom widgets, rule chains, and so on. So this will be a real marketplace for cooperation and integration, interaction, between community members of thingsboard. So the next step, some of them, as I said, are already available on our clouds. First of all, the AI assistant that builds calculated fields. You don't have to do it on your own. You just can type, use the chat interface, and have everything ready to use. Similarly, the alarm rules and alarm configuration is now handed over to AI. If you want, you can just ask the assistant to develop alerts, configurations, manage assignees, and so on. And on the background, the LLM and the agents will be doing this job. And the most demanded feature is AI assistant, not only for dashboards, but the whole solution creator or application creator. This, I called it like a solution for solution, because it's always the hardest thing is to develop a reliable, interactive application with multi-state application with different functionalities. And there are always many variables that you have to consider while doing that. So we've worked hard And on March 30, we will publish the solution creator on our clouds. Eventually, all AI features will be available for licensees, for licensed copies or self-hosted versions of the platform. Just as I said, you have to stay tuned, and you will be able to use the most of AI. Apart from that, yeah, it's not only with the application or about the application development. We have to think about how our users, because thingsboard is a B2B platform, and thingsboard is designed for our partners and customers to do business using the platform. So one of the most demanded questions was how to build, for instance, the end customer, or how to efficiently provide software as a service solution using thingsboard. So we, instead of integrating some billing system, because it cannot be common for anyone, and it's I wouldn't say that it's a scalable solution. So that's why we are working on an AI extension framework. Again, there is a chat interface that you just can type, I need an API to calculate how many data points my customers send, or I need to calculate something and get a result of it. And you can use that data to create the bill for the end customer. The repository is already on a GitHub. It's yet private, but I guess within 1 month, we will make it publicly available. And this is how, let's say, if within the application side, you design your book, your novel, and on the backend side, you now know how to sell the book. You can basically earn money by selling the book. And the device emulator. Yeah, although in thingsboard, there is a generator rule node, or you can use a scheduler to simulate some events. But this AI-enabled project, it will be built inside the platform. It has very many different device types integrated, different types of payloads depending on the industry. The behavior of the device also mimics the real device for the particular niche, and you will be able, and our users will be able to do so many interesting things. You just have to configure how often to send data, what kind of data points you want to have, etc., etc. And those simulators, they can receive commands, they can send commands, they can simulate alerts. Basically, everything that the real device does, the emulator will be doing. And again, it can be the pulse counter, some utility use cases, industrial use cases, shop floor monitoring use cases, tracking devices. As of now, there are 14 industries available within that emulator project. But again, eventually, the scope will be extended. Any questions so far? you just when you feel I have to stop, you just tell me to stop. And again,
there are no questions in the chat, so feel free to continue.
Yeah, and now just a small focus on the AI solution creator. Yeah. Again, as I said, there will be the dashboard assistant, the widget assistant, this AI framework on the background. It will be able to help you with rule chains, calculated fields, alarm AI assistant. But again, apart from it, the most demanded feature is the solution creator. Yeah, how to develop a dashboard. And now it's very simple. Now it becomes very simple. Yeah, although there are some, if if the customer or if the user has no experience, absolutely no experience with thingsboard, yeah, they can use our prompts or our suggested prompts. As you can see, there are like some tips. Yeah, you can use them as is. Or if the user has at least some experience with the platform, then again you just can type, I need a fleet tracking solution with geofencing for my vehicles. Then assistant may ask you some additional questions. Yeah, do you have those devices? Which data points do you want to use to as a geofencing parameters and so on. But by default, it analyzes all the data. You have all the data points. If the names are very specific or the values are not properly converted, then again, assistant will advise you on how to do that or do it on your own. And in this way, again, without any experience with thingsboard, the assistant will just do the magic. It creates, it describes what he does or it does. Yeah, then it shows you what kind of user types it's created, what kind of dashboards it prepared, what kind of rules for alarms he suggested for the application. All this can be skipped technically if you don't want to interact with it or you don't have any knowledge on thingsboard. And again, afterwards, there's just a button, okay, if you're okay, you can install it. And everything is rolled out, same as the solution template. You have everything installed inside your thingsboard environment. You have dashboard, you have everything. And they are interactive, they're workable. Even the assistant and the agent will simulate, if you don't have real data within your device entities, it will simulate some demo data for the application. So you can at least see that graphs are working, that your vehicle's moving or something like that. And they are editable using the chat interface. If you want some interaction, if you want, for instance, your markers to change colors or move, or based on alerts, they have to again change somehow, you just can text it to the agent and automatically it will be adjusted. So again, we are working on simplifying the platform. We are working on the way how to shorten time to success, shorten time to market if it's a partner or the solution provider, and to minimize effort for development. Now you can integrate, as I heard that you spoke about our MCP server. Yeah, you can integrate Claude, you can integrate OpenClaw, you can use existing chat interfaces to interact with thingsboard. But now we have integrated them as well, and you don't have to reinvent the vehicle. Okay, if you want to hear more, I can tell you more, but I guess there are just a lot of information. The most, the better would be if you can just sign up to our cloud and play with all those features. The solution creator will be released on March 30. Other AI features are already there. What else can I say? Yeah, this is probably it. Yeah, I just wanted to speak today about AI features, because apart from AI, there are also some interesting things, but let's keep them a small secret.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Alex, for the presentation. Are there any questions? We already got some questions via the chat. I maybe read them out to you.
Okay.
So the first one is: are the device emulators predefined? or can user also create its own emulators?
The emulator. The emulator itself.
Yeah, the emulator itself. If you can customize it, yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to mute. Yeah, because I hear the echo.
Okay.
Yeah, the emulator. By default, the emulator can be adjusted. You can adjust its behavior, but eventually we will add the feature to upload or create your own emulator. It's just work in progress. The AI creator. Yes, the AI creator uses Gemini on the background, connecting to our built-in AI. For the self-hosted, more likely it will be available, connecting your local hosted or whatever AI AI agents or an LLM. Same as for trends now. In the community version, it's not yet available. I don't think that we will make it for the CE version. Because it's all about tokens. You do understand that, yeah, there is a certain quota, and it's a payable service from LLMs.
Okay, I see that. Are there any questions from the audience in the room today? Yeah, one question?
Ich mache mal auf Deutsch, wenn es okay ist.
Okay.
Und auch weg mal vom AI-Thema. Jetzt eher so Richtung Fragen, Zukunft, Feature Requests. Eine Sache, die wahrscheinlich viele auch schon mal sich gefragt haben, ist, kommt denn ein nativer Dark Mode?
Okay, I may translate the question to the English. So there's one question outside the AI topic. Is there are there any plans like involving or introducing a dark mode for thingsboard?
Yeah, it will be available.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell something about the roadmap, or?
Sorry?
Can you tell something about the roadmap for the dark mode, or is it?
Yeah, of course. The dark mode, it's more or less demanded functionality. It will be available in things, but it's now available for dashboards as a workaround. We have some documentation on how to do that, but it will be supported natively, as well as we are reworking our documentation. The documentation will be changed. What else interesting? As I said, the marketplace is going to happen this year, more likely. How can I say it? Not to spoil too much. No. Let's keep it for now.
Okay, all right. There's another question in the chat. Is AI also helping at bulk provisioning devices and configuring the edge?
AI, the solution creator, you can tell it to create device entities, and generate some demo data. It works this way. Regarding the edge, you can do that. But for the edge, you have to have edge enabled for your thingsboard license or your subscription. If you don't have it, so assistant will just tell you don't have any edge computing available for you.
Okay, I see. So it's already supported with this solution. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any more questions?
Ja, noch einen Teil. Auch Feature Request eher. Und zwar sind ja Dashboards, Kunden, User, wenn ich auf diese Ansicht gehe, immer sortiert nach dem Neuesten zuerst. Das will ich gar nicht ändern. Mir wird schon reichen, wenn ich quasi meinen Favoriten oben anpinnen kann.
Okay, there's one feature request, also outside of the AI bubble. It's like if you have, for example, a list of customers where you view your available customers, there may be a bit longer list in some time. So they are typically sorted by default, for example, via creation date. And here was one feature request that you can add your favorites, or you can mark them as heavy or often used customers, so you don't have to scroll down the list or for that. So are there any plans in this direction or not?
This is quite a new request. I haven't heard, so that probably the demand is not so high. But we have something similar for our dashboards, as you probably know. On a home screen of thingsboard, there is a dashboard widget and favorite dashboard. So it's not a big deal to have something for customers as well and make it available as a widget on a dashboard. Just for our partners, we are heavily working on let's say developing our partners community, and our managers, they are designing some specific dates, rules, and there is a date for a feature request. And if you can pass the request through the partner, or you can submit it on a GitHub, because we actively review our GitHub issues. Every feature request we create on a GitHub, we create a poll for it. So if it's highly demanded, our community just can vote with stars or thumbs. If it has enough interest, then we just take it to our backlog and make available within the upcoming release. Because mainly the features that are requested by GitHub, they are quite small. Yeah, they are minor, not a global one.
Okay, I see. That's a quite good idea that you can add the feature request on the GitHub, and then the poll is created, and users can poll how requested this feature is actually. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Any more questions? I think, there's one question in the chat. Is it planned to rework the GitHub versioning system to create diffs between versions?
Yeah, not even the rework, but the version 2 of versioning is also in our backlog. So we will highlight which version is currently deployed on thingsboard. Yeah, I mean, like if you have the version of a dashboard or version of a rule chain, and you don't have any clue which is now deployed, you just can think that this is the one or this is not the one. The diff is somewhat tricky, although we do have that ticket on our backlog. Yeah, because the roadmap for versioning, it's also more or less large, but now the process is quite slow regarding this particular functionality, because almost all the forces are now taken for AI implementation, and afterwards we will work on the features that are not less important. Why? Because now there is a big challenge between not only IoT platforms, but almost all software vendors. They try to come up with some AI-enabled functionality, and we just have to align with the market or be the leading to lead this process in IoT.
Yeah, I completely understand that it's heavily requested by customers, or for every tool or for every application, that there are ways to integrate AI in the platform or in the product. Yeah. Okay.
And for IoT and for thingsboard, it was really challenging. It's very hard because there are so many things that have to be taken in consideration. Yeah, because the structure of the widget, structure of a dashboard, all these JSON configurations, it's not like just wipe code me in HTML web page. No, it doesn't work this way. There are so many work hours spent on the background, so many tests just to successfully come up with the working application. Because the basic application, we were ready with this solution almost a year ago, but again, it was buggy. The dashboard, we just tuned, we fixed so many things to make it viable. Anything else?
Okay, there is one question regarding the development process of dashboards, for example. If there are multiple users working on the same dashboard, are there any plans to give some indication that there may be conflicts when they are working in parallel on the project?
It's already available. It's already available. More likely, you are not using the latest, not even the latest version, but I think starting version 4.0 or 4.1. We have this indication if there are at least two users working on the same dashboard. So once you try to change something, you will be prompted. There is a dialog window stating that someone else is working on the same dashboard, and you either override their configuration or keep the configuration of the other user who is working.
Okay, I think I have already seen this also with rule chains. Is that's right? That's also with rule chains?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct. Okay, perfect. Hast du die Frage beantwortet oder geht's noch mehr?
Not really.
Okay.
Because relatively often we have the problem that more people than one work on the dashboard on different states of the dashboard, and there is no warning or something, and they override the version, and then some changes are lost and so on. Maybe there's a bug or something. We doesn't get a warning or something.
Okay, there's a special situation that they are working with multiple persons on the same dashboard, but in different states. So one person in the first state, the other one in the second, for example. And then there are some situations, misbehaviors, where they override each other without any indication or notification. So
it has to be tested. It's hard to comment now. But the most tricky thing is that the state itself is not an entity inside thingsboard. The dashboard is just an entity, which is why if you change something on a state A and someone works on a state B, so anyway, it affects all the configuration of a dashboard. But if you were saying that there is a conflict between users who are working on different states and there is no prompt, again, either it's not the latest version, or it can be a bug. We just have to test it.
Okay. Okay. So we will investigate on that and may open a issue on GitHub for that. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Then there is another question in the chat regarding debugging of rule chains. There it's stated that it's more complicated since debug mode automatically can be disabled after 15 minutes. But I think you can completely change intervals for that, or I think disable it.
Yeah, but it's if it's a cloud version, so in the cloud, in the configuration file, it's 15 minutes. But if it's a self-hosted platform, or if it's a SaaS solution, a private cloud, this is a configurable parameter. It's changed in YAML file. It's done on our public clouds. It's configured to 15 minutes just for to avoid any performance degradation, to keep the database more or less secured. And the third thing is, we consider, like, if you need to debug something, it doesn't make sense to keep the debug logs for hours. Yeah, if within 15 minutes you don't you don't have any error or you don't have anything that's what is suspicious, then more likely you don't have an issue.
Okay, thank you. I think there are no questions. I'm just looking in the chat and also in the meeting room today. So no questions for now. Thank you, Alex, for joining us this year and also for the insights in the development processes and on the AI roadmap. Okay, then thank you.
Yeah,
see you
thank
soon.
you as well. Yeah, it was happy. It was a pleasure talking to you today.